At your service, sir. I'm sorry.
Refrain from sin, useful blabbermouth. Satan is going around our city, and the only defense is piety and virtue.
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right. Go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Good.
The foulest den of life. With a drink. Are we really going to stand for it?
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly, and I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
Well, I just want to climb the social ladder a bit. Nothing wrong with that, is there?
And could you not choose a different occasion for that?
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today, from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that tin head.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Taking it up with him. How? Anyway, that's where I double.
Two of you had that quarrel, she turned her back on the whole family. Do your shopping here, and you're in the clear.
The fun. What are you here for today?
What do you have?
Nothing to your liking, sir?
Quality goods, the finest wares. It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
I'll tell you, you won't get work like that just anywhere.
Greetings.
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I just have to get in there, understand? I have an important message for the king about a plot against him.
But why would you want to get to him as a waiter?
But it could be that someone from the council is mixed up in it, so I have to be incognito. See?
I see. All right, then. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
and you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Striped fabrics!
Bring you joy.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got as drunk as a lord. Totally pie-faced. Then he fell into a ditch, and now he's staggering around the streets, God knows where.
I might have expected. Once, he turned up with a hangover, and as soon as he smelt wine, he threw up all over the chapel. I told him, if that ever happened again, he was for the boot. Oh, well, you'll have to take his place for today. I've no time to find someone else. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. So, are you prepared?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servant.
There are the pictures of wine. Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Top of that, the army was requisitioning
Boy,
from it.
I'd like some white.
Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
I apologize, sir.
What are you
Which
getting
one?
at, Eldris?
Tokai.
I'm
That's the
saying
white.
that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is
Thank
that
you.
they had them, Herr Gott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this
apologize.
too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is
Waiter,
running free.
get me white.
There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing
to
down,
oblige,
and you
but
want to defend
not allowed.
yourselves.
This is
with a few
unbelievable.
rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
White up.
What
Pour me
then?
red wine.
We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
We can always confiscate the property
Monastery
of the king's
wine here.
enemies. Nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe
Well,
if he waived
thank
some of
the
the
Lord.
taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
I fancy some Tokai. Refill, boy.
Same thing.
That's not a good idea, sir.
So
This
the
is
cleanliness of the
unbelievable.
city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up on Hopbrink.
More wine,
Wants to repair
Master
the
Bailiff.
baths that used to be there.
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
I can't. I'm supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
a great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death had nothing to do with the baths. Unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spend. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of
Waiter,
time.
pour me red wine.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here?
Waiter, I
Sewage,
wanted monastery
rats,
wine.
slop and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nars's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, Let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit.
I fancy some
and as
Tokai.
we know,
Refill, boy.
Gunslin absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're
Hey,
implying.
where's my
I'm
wife?
speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that's
Sir?
just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and
Well,
everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours,
Tokai,
as I've
and the
heard,
full cup.
then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it.
Sir?
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly
Thank you, waiter.
exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us
I
first.
fancy some Tokai.
God knows what
Refill,
he wants
boy.
to tell us.
If nothing happens, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing
Well,
me
thank
of
the
lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened,
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If we really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us. That German, Menhard, is
Boy,
just hanging
I'd
around
like
the
some
market
white.
looking for trouble.
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof. We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Don't hang around
Proven
me.
offences
Vanish,
are
you hear me?
punished by the bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More
sorry.
pressing than the open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts
Everything
their own
in order?
way. We'll
Not
soon
quite.
be the laughing
But I think
stock
you
of the
might be able
whole
to help
town.
me. Come here.
You can rest assured the whole town is all...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
I really shouldn't, sir.
A fine servant you are.
I threw out everyone who complains over a beer. I'd soon be out
Waiter,
of customers.
get me white.
Ah, the hell with it.
I'd like to
You'll never
oblige,
get anywhere
but
like this.
I'm not allowed.
Why waste
This
our
is
time?
unbelievable.
Since
Yeah,
there
I'll
is
soon
the
give
eternal
myself
dispute
away.
over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to mock a oil mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed there's a war
Hey,
going
waiter!
on?
Pour me
Are
some
the
Tokai.
experts from far off supposed to
I
work
apologise,
the city
sir.
on siege?
Which way?
Besides,
Colorblind
I
white.
get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I
You,
would...
lad!
Hold your horses,
You look
gentlemen.
familiar to me.
That space in the
Have
side
we
nave
met?
is mine.
When hell freezes over, my
naturally.
friend, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
Really?
A swordsmith dares
Then
to
you must have
insult me?
decent wages to be
Ha!
able to visit the
I
best
think
tavern in
not.
town regularly.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well,
Hey, boy.
I hope you're not supplying
cup of
equipment to the
monastery
army.
wine.
If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town
Waiter,
to watch them
I
brawl.
wanted monastery wine.
This is news to me.
Because it has
Now run
all
along.
been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Juchek Össe, Elegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Udra.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this plan of fights!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And dumber.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests.
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzig Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
Well, maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
Would you tell me something about your community? I haven't found out much so far.
What can I tell you? It was never exactly glorious. And now especially, everyone is quaking that what is still left to us will be taken...
Surely it won't be that bad.
There are many fools who would rather take out their gall on us and start to fight among themselves. In times of uncertainty, it is always the sons of Israel who are the first to be stricken.
I reckon you'd have to be pretty brave to come and mingle with the Kuttenberg Lord.
Or pretty pissed off.
Or that.
We will leave as soon as we can. Anyway, all of these worthy gentlemen will be relieved when we are out of sight.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Kuttenberg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it.
No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here, at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
The Lord moves in mysterious ways. How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but...
You say you're a poet. How about a verse or two to amuse me?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposed, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobs.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start?
Bocek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a
male affair? So far, Godwin's so. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about... There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these. Not even Bocek. That's not brave.
Martin likes to exaggerate.
Look out! These are the best thoroughbreds. He's proud.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well. We have a new guest.
I wanted to... You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up, then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. They don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Zoom quick triple. Stand firm. Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know, only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I can't talk much about it.
So we're all allies, but only from here to here. Good to know. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Godwin, we didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, it doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord! What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations, but, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation, unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, War will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Burghers, patricians and usurers.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Are we not on the same side?
We are, but an alliance is of no use if it doesn't also guarantee safety.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, you'd think differently. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over that, and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So, will you support our plan?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still grunting. First, I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place, as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon refuses?
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, I explained to him how such an alliance could be mutually beneficial.
Mutually? What do you mean?
He's got a pretty serious personal interest in this... bond.
Stop beating around the bush and spit out what you promised him.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you, and to your parleying skills.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed? Without reservation?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
I heard they're going to cut down the old oak at the crossroads.
Oh no. Why? Lovely tree like that. It's a nice place to rest when you pass by.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hand.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Haman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by hawks.
What brings you here? God bless.
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather.
Well, all right. But just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there.
And he'll be as tame as a lamb. I'm happy.
An interesting idea.
I'm seriously curious about you, lad. Here. Like this. Damn! Shit! Well, you're not afraid of anything. Here. Alright, that'll do. That'll do me. Roll. Like this. Finished. Your turn. Damn it, I'm so fucked.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamour going on here, I can hardly hear my own thought. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady.
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me. My lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians. Our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein. To do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see? All you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain. Up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you are harsh, rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks we have concerns. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Margaret. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Raposh. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red white, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Raposh falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
No, sire. It would be inappropriate for me to drink with you. I apologize.
As you wish. To your health, Marquardt. And to our upcoming victory.
What's that you're doing? Surely you don't want...
Hunger, poverty, and plague. It's too much for a man to take. Even men of faith are cowering, faced by evil overpowering.
You in need of something, my well-oiled friend?
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. As they say, all's well that ends well. So, to brighter tomorrow.
Touching.
Come now. What's become of your poetic self?
I never had one.
Truly? Not even a little?
Not a bit. I'm just a cynical old pragmatist.
In that case, in quite simple and pragmatic terms, the wine has run out.
Fuck! I've got a tongue like a slice of weak old bread after all that gabbing.
Well, get something wet for us then.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friend, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs. Try and find one of those pictures for us, eh? I'm sure you can manage that.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
All right. Sorry, mate, but you're right about cigarettes.
Keep saying.
Life returns to this country.
Let's drink to that.
To King Wenceslas.
Come on, someone will see us.
Eh? They won't. Come here.
Going to take time to raise an army. Until then, Sigismund's men can trample over us.
I wouldn't despair.
So you see, the best thing we could do.
Excuse-moi.
How'd you like our wine, Siobhan?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition. Recipes are passed on from father to son. I myself was practically raised on wine. How many I have tasted. Even the French royal court took note of my refined. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
So you're not too keen on our stuff?
Comment dire? Let us say you still have much work ahead. If you try hard, you may have some decent wine to celebrate the second coming of Christ.
Baron Vaku Voku.
Your name is unpronounceable.
Greetings to you, friend.
It's easy for you to say. You don't have to listen to it day in, day out.
You act like you don't know the world of the Lords.
Lords and ladies. You either ignore us.
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush? Raise an army, prepare a wedding feast and all that.
All hail Jobst. He sorted things out here nicely. He got my money for a start, and that's more than I wanted to give him. But you know how it goes. Give them a finger. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere, and I sent my captain with him. He's still young and full of piss and vinegar. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. The wedding will take place at our castle Littitz, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here, and that still wouldn't be much.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rata. I'd bet my right arm old Hanush will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Ratai? Well, I ought to look into that then.
But deal with him yourself, though. I won't be your gent's messenger anymore.
Have you ever thought about getting married again? It would make a lot of things easier for you.
And how should I interpret this question?
In the simplest terms, I'm offering you a business deal, without any ulterior motives. I am
Having a good time? He's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fuck. Well, what are you missing? There's wine, food. Even a few females worth the sin. I'd rather have a game of dice. Don't you dare get into a fight with anyone. You know what a fuck-up that would be. Aye, I forgot. Only the younger Lord of Rabors is allowed to give anyone here a pasting. And his own kin at that. Leave it out. They forced my hand. Well, they wouldn't have to force me. That young nitwit was asking for it anyway. Well, let's have a game then. But for what? For a coin? What else? 10 groschen of my worldly wealth. Quite rightly. Honour your vow of poverty and turn...
God be with you.
I'd rather run my own.
I understand. Let's at least drink to your success.
And let's drink to the future of Lady Yika. May her marriage to Lord Capon bring her happiness.
They're young.
I'm right. Conrad, my friend.
Yes.
Started retching.
Everybody likes a drop of white.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. He wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! The surrounding Christian can't make it on his own horse.
Leave him alone!
Too slow!
I'm not afraid of anyone but God Almighty. Fuck that. Cover your head, damn it!
One step back! Stand your ground!
Show what you're made of! Get him from I'm
That's right! Drive those horsemen out!
Get the fuck! No, you don't!
Kyria eleison!
I cut him down! No
See you shit! You're no match for me!
Bad luck!
God! Quick! Good! For the cross!
And you'll get another right away!
That's bad luck. You can't take me!
We'll see about that!
I'm hit!
That hit home.
Damn it!
Fuck you, horse on! You got him! Leave him alone! Kill him! Nice! Yes! Fucking take him! You wounded me! Blood! Yeah! Nice! Come on, take another one like that!
Are you waiting for orders from the what?
You're done here, Horsens.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally. The same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I wouldn't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghow took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, and he'll hang the lords.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out. He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Liechtenstein too.
Anyway, we've got work to do.
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know. I'll be with Christopher.
The other almost crushed.
they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves. Watch it. It's as greedy as a pig. And Hinegis... well,
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with them anyway.
one Constant captured, the other almost crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves. Watch it. It's as greedy as a pig. And Hinegis...
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with them.
Dirty.
This is a nightmare.
Jesus Christ.
Had a bunch of children. No, you almost took Hinekov Kunsta.
That dry devil is as tough as old boots. If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
They didn't even spare the animals.
My Tempest lost his life too.
They put enough arrows in you to knock down 3 lights.
Maybe he survived. Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe the crows are feasting on him already.
One Constant captured, the other almost crushed.
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it.
Aye, come here. Aye, aye, you silly doggy. Good boy, good boy.
Didn't even spare the animals.
I saw him bolting out the gate. Someone set his mane and tail on fire.
Maybe he'll come back.
Or maybe the crows are
Dirty.
Well, at least it was over quick. No, you almost took
Come here. Heal.
already...
Well, at least it was over. No, we almost took Hinnerkopf.
That's right, gentlemen. No proof.
If a horse fell on me, I wouldn't get up again.
One Constaff captured, the other officer crushed. What have they done that the Lord is punishing them like this?
God's punishment or not, they brought it upon themselves. Watch it. He's as greedy as a pig. Inegis. Well, no.
Leave it alone, the two of you. Now we're in it with them anyway.
They didn't even spare the animals.
My Tempest lost his life too. They put enough arrows in him to knock down 3 lights.
What about your horse?
I don't know.
What will happen to his lordship now? And to us?
We have to take care of young Circus. Dead father.
Yes. Doing our work. What if the old lord doesn't come back? Then we'll have to go. He's not a little boy.
When Jobst finds out about this...
Good to see you both.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Owlet surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential ally. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We can't give up now. It would only show Sigismund that he has nothing to fear.
Exactly. This is a test. And an opportunity to show that we stand by our allies. Whatever the cost.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
Sir Vaculin, you've had an exciting life. Tell me some stories.
Bien sûr. Your interest is gratifying and quite understandable.
Where does the name Brabant come from?
That is simple. My compatriots call me that because I am originally from Brabant province. And, the name stuck. One day, I shall tell you about my place of birth, but I am sure you will long to hear about the conquest of Areds. Or would you rather hear how I saved the King of France from
How did you save the King of...
With Providence as my guide. I came to the court from the field of battle because, and remember this, the bearer of good news is always rewarded. But the king was in a bad mood and did not wish to be disturbed. Maybe I thought the news of our victory will dispel his ill.
How could you tell him if he didn't want to be disturbed?
Ha! I climbed up to his balcony and into his chambers to surprise him with the joyful tidings, and lo and behold, the king was writhing and gasping on the floor, overcome by one of his fits. Wasting not a moment, I dashed over to him and unblocked his throat, thus saving his life. In return, the king bestowed on me the title of Échanson, or cupbearer, and other generous gifts. And I then spent a while in his service at court. Unfortunately, though, even the king's favor does not last forever, and minor mistakes can come to overshadow good deeds.
Thanks for...
The dead are scattered outside. There are crows circling
Staring
overhead.
death in the face.
I don't think any of us expected that.
To run away.
Shame. Right, too.
I don't think they heard
They were only going out ordering.
Death knows that they were armed. Maybe someone gave us away.
Me too. Everybody but here is safe.
He was covered in blood, but most of it probably wasn't his.
We could easily have ended up lying dead outside.
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did you talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. But I tried many times. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized the Master's symbol engraved there. Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone. Maybe we are not even a year apart.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easy. But now that I know I will never see him, it troubles me that I did not get to know him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a gazera?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. But we did not expect Sigismund to be in such a hurry. We need to get back into the city and get the people out. Quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it.
Very well. We should get going right away.
Let's not waste time.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean. But
could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. But could you please tell me what the fuck is going on?
I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
Do you think that's a good idea? No offense, sir, but you're no great warrior.
I'm not. But I'm not just going to sit here and wait.
All right, then. Let's go.
Hamish, can we go any faster?
Settle down, son. If you must keep your tongue busy, then use it to pray.
Would you tell me what the fuck is going on already?
Sigismund ordered an attack on the Jewish quarter. We need to get everyone out of there fast.
Bloody hell. I just got healed up so nicely today.
Oh, that is just great. My mother's life is in the hands of a drunkard.
Enough with the talking. Can't we really go any faster?
Just hold on tight back there.
What's the matter? Why are we stopping?
We will walk from here. We cannot drive right into those murderers' arms.
But how do we get into the town then?
We will go through Sherwill.
There are many abandoned mine shafts under the town. One of them ends here.
Won't it collapse on our heads?
We'll find out soon enough. Follow me.
What a blessing it is to have found the passageway.
Killed our savior.
What did you just say?
Nothing. I'm just blabbering.
I dare you to say that again. Loud and clear.
You know what, sir? Just ignore me and be glad I'm here. And... you up front. Pick it up, little kurva. My arse is getting numb.
This isn't the way I should go. This trapdoor should be closed, shouldn't it? Maybe I better go and take a look upstairs to make sure there's nothing going on there.
Bugger this, not a damn thing.
Take that, you shit! You want to
Baruch Hashem, Henry. You're all right. Sam, you're back already. How does it look outside?
A few of the cutthroats got in over the walls, but we dealt with them. But there are more outside the gate.
4 of them were here in the tavern, too.
Fortunately, they didn't take anything important. But your friends paid for it with their lives.
What?
I'm so sorry. If it's any consolation, Henry here has already taken care of those cutthroats.
But they didn't look like they just came to the tavern by chance. Eric must have sent them. What about your mother? Is she all right?
She is, thank God. I told her to get ready, and we would come for her right away.
I'm really sorry about your friends. We got here too late.
There was nothing you could do. Ben Navis Hamardes. This Eric is really pissing me off. I've never laid eyes on him, yet I cannot wait to wring his neck.
There'll be plenty of time for that later. We have to go now.
I'm sure Mama is waiting for us. We have to take her to the shul.
You go ahead. I'll lock the tavern and block the secret passageway so no one else can get in.
But sir, if any more of them come here,
I can take care of myself. Now go. God be with you.
Is that you?
They climbed over the wall. One of them must have hit me.
Get up. We have to get to the shul fast. Can you walk?
I can't.
Don't worry. I'll help you. Henry, go and get Mummy. She will be in that house on the left. Bring her here.
What's the matter? Where's Sam?
Don't worry, ma'am. He sent me to take you to him.
Mein Gott! What happened to him?
Nothing. He's out on the street helping the wounded. Let's go, now. We're out of time.
Wait! Who are you anyway?
My name is Henry. I'm, Do you remember Martin, the blacksmith?
Of course I do.
I'm his... son.
Was sagst du?
Sam told me that...
Watch out! More are coming! Run to the back, it might be safer there!
What's going on?
Sam, are you alright?
I'm fine, but we will talk when you are safe. Now run!
We have to get to the synagogue. But how?
Through the backyard. Follow me. Watch out! They're shooting at us! From the ramparts! Get rid of them!
this! Damn it! Wanker! I'm not getting killed.
Das ist Judas und Lem.
Du wirst sterben!
Oh mein Gott! Es ist vorbei.
We cannot get past the wagon. We have to go this way. Through the house.
Die! The place is clear now. Come inside. Mummy.
Kiss them all now!
Come on!
What the hell?
What is it, fuckers? Rather slaughter women? And the defenseless?
Let's go! What's going on up there?
Go inside. Quick.
To the fucking task.
I've never been so glad to see you two.
In need of a helping hand, are you?
No, I just don't want to die here alone. There they are. Well, now we're really fucked.
Mustn't get inside. We have to hold them back. For how long, though? As long as we need to.
Come on! Kill them! God will forgive you! I'm sorry. Bad luck. Now you're finished. We'll rip this place in you, scum! Hey, get him!
Bleeding like a stuck pig. Let him have it! Bleeding like a stuck pig.
Fucking die already!
Come on!
You won't get me!
Don't bear it! On the head! Help me with this
We'll rid this place if you
wonder you're still standing. Show what you're made of. Stand proud if you can. Let me stand proud if you can. Show
Fuck it.
All right ahead. You're no match for me.
In the name of the Lord!
Die, monster! Smash you! Let him have it!
Oh my!
Destroy them! For fuck's sake! Oh!
And you'll get another right away.
You got him! Fucking hell! Nice!
Nice strike! Show your stuff!
Blood!
Kill them!
Flash him on the head! No, you don't. Keeping you! There's more of us! We'll rid this place of you, scum! Crucify you! I've got
It's a wonder you're still standing.
Show what you're made of!
you done! Trigger!
No, you don't! Hell is wasting you, bumhead! Smack him on the head!
Blood! I'll throw your body to the face!
Back it home! Pigeon!
Him on the head! True
Hell
blood!
is wasting you, bastard!
Head! You look like some ducky shut you off!
Bleeding like a pig!
That's me.
Slice him up! Bash him on the head!
Waiting, you bastard!
Fuck that.
Hey, get him!
Crucify you. You won't get me.
Help me! Help me!
Pray, you bastard.
Bash him on the head! We'll kick your asses!
True blood, yeah! Show me your stuff!
Jesus for mercy! Still standing!
It's a wonder you're still standing! That'll teach you! You can't take me!
Come on then!
Come on! Everyone's inside!
Henry, come on! Let's go!
Gott mogen mir.
Let's go. It's this way.
Damn. That was a close shave. I reckon I should go to Samuel's mother and talk to her about Martin. I won't get another chance.
Surely we cannot just leave them like this. There's nothing we can do now.
Where is Miriam?
We must get the wounded out of here first.
Where is she?
Are we just supposed to bury them by the side of the road?
Don't worry.
Don't
You're
worry.
not going to hurt.
Even if that happens, we'll be able to find a way. Look at him. Yes.
Are you alright?
I'm fine, lad. I thank you for everything.
I know this might not be the best time, but... do you think we could talk about Martin?
Right now? Well, all right then. How is Martin actually?
He died. It's only been a few months.
Oh, det händer Schutzuror Hayem.
Sigismund burned down my village. Pa went to help Ma and... well... they both died there.
I am sorry to hear that, lad. But that is the Martin I knew. He always put others first. At least you survived. That would make Martin happy.
I'm sorry I don't have better news to give you.
Do not worry about it. I am just sad he died before he could meet Samuel.
Is everything all right?
Yes, do not worry. We were just talking about Martin.
How did you meet Martin, if I may ask?
It was such a long time ago. He wanted to open a blacksmith shop in town, but there was no place among your people, so he tried his luck in our court.
And that's where he met you?
The rabbi gathered the good men so they could decide whether we wanted to have a goy blacksmith. And Martin wouldn't stop looking at me all night. Then it went schlag auf schlag.
So what happened that made Martin leave you?
My Martin would never leave me. My father found out we were seeing each other and did his best to drive him away. To marry a goy is isur deoraisa, forbidden. But Martin would not give in, and we kept seeing each other, until one day, I was ubore.
That means pregnant.
Yes. My father knew that if word got out, he would not be able to avoid the shame. So he did not miss a beat and took me out of town, and I did not even have time to tell Martin the news. I was gone for almost 4 years. In the meantime, my father told everyone that he had married me off. But my husband died. And he only let me come back when he was sure people had accepted it.
And what about you? Did you ever find another man after that?
No. My father called me a widow. So I stayed a widow.
And he didn't try to find anyone else for you?
You know he did, but it never worked out. I made sure of that.
All right.
Before you go, tell me, what was Martin like as a father?
Well, he was strict with me, but not too much. Especially in the forge, he worked me hard. I dream about him quite often. About that last day and what he said to me while we were forging a sword together. He said a life of adventure can be over before it begins. And that blacksmithing might be a dull job, but I keep my head on my neck.
He was absolutely right.
Well, look at me now.
You saved all our lives. Martin would be proud of you. He raised you well.
I'm sorry to keep you this long, but... well, I never thought I'd have a brother, even if not related by blood.
Well, I did not expect that either. And thank you, my almost brother. If it was not for you, I do not know how today would have ended. What are your plans now?
I'll go back to the Devil's Den. To Zizka and the others. We need to figure out what to do next.
I will see you there then. But first, I have to escort everyone to Colleen. I do not want anything to happen to them on the way.
Everything should be all right now.
Take care of yourselves, dear brother. I will see you this time tomorrow at the Devil's Den.
Have a safe journey.
Sei gesund.
I'm always glad to see you.
Where's that beer?
An ale, as usual.
Take a good look at this man. A rebel against the laws of God and of the city, for whom nothing is sacred.
Henry!
How is Peter doing?
Henry, it helped. Peter got up in the morning and went straight to work. I can tell he's still fighting something in his head, though. He looks fearfully to the horizon. But hopefully things will get better with... It won't go away as quickly as it came. But we'll get through it somehow.
Just keep giving him hope.
I will. You can count on it.
I'm glad I could help. But don't forget our deal. The Thunderstone is mine.
But the stone helped, Peter. We need it. And I'll never be able to afford another. It'll protect our homestead. And what if Peter's illness returns? Then I'll need the stone again.
The stone has great power, but it's used up all the strength it had for you. Now it's time for it to help others.
You're right. Here, it's rightfully yours. It's hard to give it up, knowing how much I spent on it. That's why I can't give you anything else as a reward right now. But believe me, I'll spread the word of how you helped us around the village.
Thank you. That's good enough for...
God be with you, sir.
I found the Thunderstone.
Really? Oh, God bless you, Henry. Without the stone, I don't know what I would do. Or what else could help me.
Well, you don't have to worry about that now. Take the stone. I hope it helps you.
Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. This stone will make giving birth easier and save my baby's life.
Glad to have been of service.
I'll get Hannah to give you a lower price at the stud farm, as I promised. And you know what? I'll share a piece of wisdom my grandmother taught me. She said you need to brew nightshade with twice as much mugwort and a good splash of brandy. That's how to fix a concoction that'll clean you out at both ends and cure all sorts of ills. She used it on me after I gave birth and said it saved my life. So it could come in handy for you too sometime.
Thanks. That sounds, let's not say dangerous exactly, but definitely fascinating. I'll just make a quick note so I don't forget. Not sure I'll ever muster the courage to try it, though.
Think nothing of it. And if you want, stop by and talk to my husband, Stamir. He's a very skilled man. And since you've been so helpful, if you like, perhaps he'll let you in on some of his blacksmithing secret. Oh, and I also have some money put aside for emergencies, so you can have that. It's not much, but it's all I can give you.
Hold on to your money. I'm sure it'll come in handy for you at some point. I was glad I could help. So let's leave it at that.
Oh, Mother Mary. What a noble man you are. Thank you.
My humble respects.
You've had enough. Go home and...
Now that your band is back, can we...
You a feisty one. But if you want to hear the plan, speak to Zizka. He'll tell you more.
Fuck this. One more word about my ma, and... Your ma is so ugly, it would make a blind man weep.
I bring bad news from Kuttenberg. Eric's soldiers and the town rabble have torched the Jewish quarter. Fortunately, we saved most of the people. But I doubt they can form an alliance with us now.
Fuck.
Where are they now?
Samuel and the rabbi took those who survived to Khalid.
Shit. We have to find Dry Devil and Capon and decide what to do now.
Well, Samuel said he wants to be around for that, and we should wait for him.
I see. But if he's gone to Colin, he won't be back till tomorrow. Oh well. At least we'll have time to get everything ready.
All right. I'll come tomorrow then.
I'll be done with you in a flash. Do you want more?
How
eh?
terrible!
Excuse me.
Hey! Wake up!
What would you like? Would you repeat? Show me your way.
I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
About the inheritance. But your father's still alive, isn't he? Aye, but he drools all over himself. And he gets this feeling that his time's Aye, once old folks start getting soft in the head, it's bad news.
Damn it. I have to be careful not to ruin it. Finally.
Well, that's nice now.
Sharp as a razor.
Greetings! You look almost as good as me, and that is no small compliment.
I'm glad to see you, too.
Le plaisir est pour moi.
I apologize. It's already getting dark.
And?
Henry! You have no idea how glad I am to see you alive and all in one piece. I was really worried about you. I prayed to Our Lady the Protector to watch over you in Kuttenberg. It's good she heard my pleas.
Thanks for putting in a good word. It definitely came in handy, because it wasn't nice at all. Lots of violence and death, countless foes. We could have easily kicked the bucket any moment.
God damn! What happened there?
I don't know if words are enough. Simply, it was just like Skalitz. Confusion, screaming, dying, and then the flame. The worst part came when the gate fell. It was as if the bloody gates of perdition opened for a moment, and hell surged into the world.
God protect us! God damn it! I should have gone there too. I could have been some use at least.
I'm always glad to fight by your side, but you wouldn't have changed anything there. There were too many of them. And when the whole street was thronged, there was no stopping it. All we could do was try to hold back Eric's people as long as possible, so the locals could flee to the synagogue. See, there's a hidden tunnel inside it, leading out of the city.
Fucking tunnels! Ugh. But thank Christ for them. What about Liechtenstein?
He's fine. And he managed to get those mysterious documents of his out. He left with the survivors for Colleen.
Praise God. He's from an old and glorious house. It'd be a dreadful pity if he got left behind. The main thing is you got out. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to thank you properly for coming to Malashov for me.
No need to thank me.
I beg to disagree, my brave and faithful companion. First and foremost, be it known that if you should ever similarly find yourself in captivity, I swear before our Lord Jesus Christ that I shall come for you as you came for me. And secondly, I have something here for you. A truly knightly reward for your knightly deed. A hunting bow that has no equal in the province. I hope it'll brighten your thoughts after all those horrors. It can fell the mightiest buck deer and enchant many a doe. And besides, it has attached to it an enlightening history.
I'm honoured. Thank you, friend. Please enlighten me, O noble sir.
According to legend, this bow belonged by right to Margrave Jobst of Moravia, who, however, was not worthy of it. And so, Fate decreed that it fell into the hands of a proper knight.
What are you saying?
When I found out that Yobst would gladly leave me locked up, it got my blood up. So, to pay him back, I relieved him of the bow in Raborsh, and it was immediately clear to me that that bow should go to none other than you.
That is certainly...
I knew we'd see eye to eye. It'd be great to try that bow out right away. We could ride out together on the hunt. Wine, bacon, wine, the deep woods, a quiver full of arrows, wine.
We only went hunting together once.
Yeah, but it was memorable. Don't tell me you wouldn't like to do it again. But first duty, then some fun, eh? You'd better be going.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
Greetings, Hen.
Can we start the meeting? We don't have much time.
Aye, we're all waiting for you. Right, gentlemen. I think it's clear to all of you what a shitty fucking mess we're in. We were caught off guard at Raborsh.
And they nearly fucking kill us all.
Yes, and they attacked the Jewish quarter.
Thanks a lot for reminding me. I almost forgot.
At least Henry here and Kubienka got most of the people out.
That's true. Good work, men. How did it all go down?
Well, to tell the truth, we were lucky as hell. We got there before it all started in earnest. That's why we managed to get those people out.
Lucky my arse. We gave those bastards a thrashing. They thought they'd loot and torch the whole place, but we scared them shitless.
It is nice that you found my people's suffering so entertaining. But what I want to know now is how you all intend to avenge them.
Well, what do you have in mind?
We shouldn't give up. That's the main thing.
Except that Sigismund has the League of Lords and a whole fucking army. And what do we have? Fuck all. Come on, lads. Jobst will bring his army soon. It'd be fucking mad to try on anything big before that.
It might take weeks for them to arrive. Von Berghoff will have found and caught us by then. We have to get rid of Von Berghoff. It's because of him that we're in the situation we're in, after all.
You mean in the shit, Sir Hans? No need to mince word.
Von Berghoff's too powerful. We don't stand a chance against him. But it was Eric who led the attack on the Jewish quarter. He's the one we should strike at.
But that wouldn't do us much good. Besides, who knows where the bastard is now? No, Sir Hans is right. We should get rid of Von Berghoff.
That fucker is Sigismund's right hand. So we'll chop it off.
Why kill him? You know what ransom we can get for that bastard.
Are you all fucking daft? Von Berger is holed up in Malashov, so unless any of you can fly, we can't get to it.
Oh, that's true. To take a cost like that, we'd need a dozen men, ladders, and maybe also a trebuchet or cannon.
There's no maybe about it. We'd certainly need a cannon.
So we steal the one von Berghoff, use at Nebakov.
Well, why don't we just steal all the silver from the Italian court and buy our own, eh? Use your head before you open your mouth.
Hang on. Maybe Janosch's idea isn't all that bad.
You got another cunning plan that's guaranteed not to fail, haven't you?
I recently sent Catherine to spy on Sigismund's military camp near Opatovitz. She told me von Berghoff has his cannon stashed away there. But it seems things are getting a bit out of hand there. So the Prague regiment he's in charge of is going to move it to Sedlec, and it might not be that well guarded along the way.
So we'll steal it, right? We'll wait till they go through some ravine, and we'll shoot at them from the rocks. The way you did to us before Nebukov.
I see you've learned something from me. But it's not that simple. What we need is for one of us to get amongst the Pragas, so he can keep an eye open and tell us when they're moving out.
And if we succeed? What then? There's 5.5 of us. Even with a cannon, that's not enough to take Malashov.
There's not much we can achieve on our own.
But show me the fool who'd want to join us.
There's always a few mercenaries around, right?
And how are you going to pay them, eh? I sure as fuck haven't got the coin.
That's enough! Von Berghoff has to die. Painfully. And above all, as soon as possible. And if there are not enough of you, this might help.
Well, well. That's a sight for sore eyes. Why the fuck didn't you show us that earlier? We could have saved ourselves a lot of blathering.
We really appreciate it, son.
And we won't mind if you've got a couple of more purses like that.
If you will permit, monsieur, I might be able to contribute. I know a few mercenaires in this part. They may not be la cavalerie royale, but for such a purse, they will gladly tear Malashov down stone by stone.
Ah, a company of mercenaries, a surprise attack, and a cannon in reserve. We could do something with that, couldn't we?
No, not so fast. We don't have the cannon yet.
Then we'll fucking get it! We'll find a good spot for an ambush, and send someone into the camp to spy on them. What about you, Henry? You'll get yourself recruited into the Prague regiment, and when they take the cannon to Sedlec, you'll send us a message via Catherine.
I was afraid you'd never ask. I can just see the look on von Berghoff's face when we point his own cannon straight at it.
That's settled then. Henry will go to the camp. Catherine will tell you all you need to know. You'll find her in the bathhouse there. In the meantime, Ada here can go to Malashov and find out how von Berghoff and his people are stationed there. But look, don't touch.
Za kogo ty mnie kurwa masz?
A lot of soldiers need a lot to eat. We'll have to stock up.
I'll go hunting. This tavern's a bit crammed for my liking as it is.
And what are we going to do?
We're going to prepare a warm welcome for the Pragas.
What do you say, Sir Hinek?
Well, what the fuck are you all sitting here for? Didn't you hear? The fun's about to start!
Christ! Pardon me.